What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Plarium finally did it. They finally gave us our Freyja in the Deck of Fate, but it's not the way that we wanted it. They gave it to us in a 15x progressive event for Sacreds, Primals, and Ancient Shards. There is the list of 15x summon champion starting tomorrow. Right now we have this guarantee going on for Weregrin. Tomorrow we will have the progressive event. It's going to last for 3 days, so over the weekend. And these are the champions up for grabs. Of course, the mentioned Freyja. It feels like a big troll job from Plarium, basically saying, here's your Freyja, everyone. There, she's part of the Deck of Fate. Haha, not really. Does this mean that she's going to show up in a future Deck of Fate? I strongly feel that she will be guaranteed as part of the Deck of Fate. And this is basically just a kind of a troll attempt by Plarium on its player base. But yeah, basically she's going to be showing up in the Deck of Fate in the near future within the Asgard Divide event timeline. So within the next month or so. You can check out my showcase for her. She's a good champion. She's probably not going to do anything too crazy. She has a big shield here, increased defense, and then she has a cleanse block debuff, turn meter boost. And then she has a cool passive that can probably find some use in various areas. She's a good champ. I don't think she's going to light anybody's account on fire, but she's good overall. And she also brings an AoE, so AoE provoke for some additional utility as well. If you pull her, congratulations. But it seems like she will be part of a guarantee coming soon. Up next, we have Wither the Crown. Wither the Crown from the Demon Spawn. I did pull her recently, I think from the 1+1 Sacred event. I basically view her kind of as a passive defensive Mithrala, whereas Mithrala brings increased attack and also hex and poisons. She brings leech, continuous heals, and more healing. So instead of a shield, she brings healing. Passive also brings healing. Basically, if you have Mithrala, it's kind of hard to find super strong use case for Wither. She's still a good cleanser. She brings increased defense, so then she can be still very good. She brings continuous heals as well. Means, I mean, you could put her in a protection set, and then you can get some extra damage from her from Hydra, for example. But you could also do the same thing with Mithrala. I think overall Mithrala is better because she does bring damage as well, and also like the shield can be overcapped if you have max HP already, whereas the continuous heals and healing, you can't go over your HP cap, for example. Still a good champ if you pull her early on. But yeah, after Mithrala, I think her uses definitely drop off. All right, so moving on, we have Glacade the Meltwater. I actually really like this champion, and I wish he was part of a guarantee when he was first released. Really good champion. The way I describe this guy is basically he's kind of like a Duchess, but he's a more aggressive Duchess. So he does a freeze on his A1. Generally, I wouldn't build him with accuracy and just let this 50% or less condition happen. It can't be resisted. Kind of Sifi-esque, but it's obviously not as good because there's a freeze, and because this condition is harder to achieve rather than Duchess. He brings increased attack, veil, and then turn meter boost on a 4-turn cooldown. Similar to Duchess, minus. But Duchess doesn't have the turn meter boost. But Duchess also brings block debuffs. So that's like the more defensive part. But then the turn meter part is a more offensive part for Glacade. And then he also has the similar 4-turn revive with small HP, small turn meter, increased accuracy, increased defense as well. Very, very nice, actually. He brings, I think, a total of 4 buffs. He brings 4 buffs, yes, in his kit. So he's a great candidate for a 9-piece protection set for Hydra, for example. And then his passive, again, very good for Hydra. All allies under Perfect Veil will deal 10% more damage. So he's basically allowing your team to deal more damage. So if you put him in a protection set, plus his passive, he's got a lot of things going on. Same aura as Duchess, 19% as well. His base stats are also very similar to Duchess. I think he's a little bit faster, but he's very, very similar overall to Duchess's kit. Duchess being more defensive, Glacade being more offensive. Great champ if you pick him up. All right, on to our next champion. We have from the Sacred Order, we have the People's Champion, I guess. Wixwell here, Vaultkeeper Wixwell. So we all know Vaultkeeper Wixbow can enable some of those Yannica Hydra teams. He's probably he's the main character in that team, obviously with Yannica, but basically his growth ability on his A2 allows him to do such crazy shenanigans. He also brings the intercept buff. He was the first champion with the intercept buff, which is really, really good. But main thing about him is this growth ability. It's proportional on how many buffs that you have on your whole team. So he can get pretty crazy. He basically makes Clan Boss obsolete in terms of just the ease of building a team around him. And yeah, he enables some really good Hydra teams. Very good champion overall. A1 provoke as well. Put him in a 9-piece protection set for Hydra for more damage, or put him in a hex set so he constantly applies the hex. Very, very awesome champion. Actually, you know, like on first look, it wasn't as good. Just because like the kit just was kind of disjointed, but in actual use, it's actually very, very strong. So good champ to pick up. All right, moving on to the demon spawn as our next champion, we have Tyrant Lixamore. Good, he's still a good champion. He brings AoE HP burns. He brings increased defense, ally protection, all in very solid cooldown, 3-turn cooldowns and all that stuff. And then he has a little bit of damage mitigation on his passive. He has an A1 heal as well. Good base stats. He's a good champ, kind of like maybe power crept over the years. Still a good champ for can be used for Hydra, can be used for Clan Boss, can be used just for general progression, Spider for example. But yeah, good champion. Although I wouldn't be like jumping for joy if I pulled this guy, but he's still a good champion overall to have, especially early on. Moving on to the Void champions, we got Tuhonorok here. Tuhonorok is is she a Bannerlord? I feel like she is a Sacred Order. Sorry, she's a Barbarian. I do have Tuhonorok on my other account. She's actually really, really good. She brings increased speed, increased defense, and then she brings this block buffs with the spread. It's a little bit harder to use, but it's still usable in Hydra. I have her in a 9-piece protection set for Hydra, so then you can get some additional damage out of her increased speed, increased defense, and her continuous heals. And then her passive, really, really nice, just passively removes debuffs. She can kind of be your torment answer as well. She's also part of the some arena teams, like bomb teams, where you can spread bombs with this ability. Good champ. She's pretty cool. She can do some cool stuff. Has an interesting kit. Very relevant accuracy in all battles aura. Good base stats as well. So would definitely be pretty happy to pick her up for sure. And then our last Void champion up for grabs from the Lizardman faction, we have the almighty Krisk. Very, very strong champion, especially in a hex set or 9-piece protection set, for example. Very, very good champion, especially for Hydra. Generally, any area in the game, this guy excels. Maybe arena, he's probably the least good, but he's still pretty good there as well. He brings provoke, increased speed, increased defense. He brings ally protection, continuous heals, and then decreased speed again, and then decreased attack and decreased defense again. Great base stats. A little bit slow actually for a Void champion, but great champion overall. One of the main prizes back in the day for a winner take all training tournament. He was very it was pretty insane to see this level of champion offered in a training tournament, and I don't think we've seen numbers hit as high since that training tournament for people going after Krisk for sure. From the epic list, I'm not going to go over all of them, but the main prize here probably is going to be Seeker. Seeker enables a bunch of Clan Boss teams. He brings the increased attack and then big turn meter fill. Very, very strong champion. Even just general use is very good, and early game or mid game use is very good. A1 provoke can be used for arena teams just for increased attack and turn meter boosting. Great champion overall, and probably the best epic from the bunch here. Although Steel Skull and Tagore is very, very solid for like faction wars and stuff like that. Seeker definitely stands above the rest. So will I be pulling for this event? No, I will not be pulling for this event. I'm going to sit on my shards. I'm going to sit out the Slayer gear from the Deck of Fate, and we'll wait until future events pop up. We have a fusion popping up on Monday, so we can save for that. And obviously we do have potentially a Freyja Deck of Fate somewhere in the next 4 weeks or so. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this. progressive event. Are you planning to go for it? Are you planning to do this Deck of Fate? At least they're giving us a little bit of a boost for Deck of Fate if you aren't using it. Some people were thinking like maybe there was no progressive event, which would make this Deck of Fate even less attractive, even less attractive. But at least the progressive came, and some pretty good champions here, right? Like you got Freyja, you got Wither, so you got some good champions here. You got Gladeade, of course. So hopefully you guys are, if you guys are pulling, then you guys get some luck with your shards. But I will be sitting on my hands for this weekend and watching others pull instead. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.